Welcome to the NC DWI Guy podcast, where defenders of the Constitution assemble to prepare for courtroom battle and firm owners gather to develop marketing strategies that will revolutionize the practice of criminal defense. Here's your host, the NC DWI Guy, Jake Minnick.
Hello, fellow freedom fighters, and welcome to another episode of the NC DWI Guy podcast. Today, we are talking about referrals. This is the best way to get clients into your office because somebody that is referred to you is going to be very likely to hire you. They already trust you based on the fact that they have been referred to you by another person. So whoever it is that they talk to, whether it's a prior client of yours, somebody that knows a professional in the area and got your name from them, if it's another attorney, somebody that works at the courthouse, wherever they got your contact information, if they've been referred, they come to you, they call you, ready to hire you. You almost have to give a referred case, a referred client, a reason not to hire you in order for them not to sign up. And so a referred client is the best kind of client. A referred case is the best case. Now, it may not be the easiest case. It may be easier to get a potential client to call you through Google advertising or through some web-based advertising, definitely not the yellow book, billboards, radio, TV, whatever it might be, whatever advertising, you might be able to get more calls that way, but you're going to have to sell yourself if you get calls through advertising. If you get calls through a referral network, through a referral system, you're not going to have to work to get those people to sign up with you. So today we're going to talk about referral-based marketing. The biggest thing when it comes to referrals is to understand that referrals is effectively the same thing as relationships. When you are developing a communication, developing a friendship with a potential with a potential entity, person that is going to provide referrals, you have to know that that is a relationship. It is not a sales position going on back and forth between you and the referring person. You're developing a relationship with that person. And so in terms of setting the tone right, every person that you meet, you should treat them as if your next case was going to be based on what that person says about you. This is a way to never lose clients through being not recommended or signed off of a list because of what a referring person has said about you, that they say, definitely don't call this guy. But you want to treat every person you interact with as though they are the next person that is going to send you a client, as though their next conversation they were going to have the opportunity to send you business. If you treat every person that way, you will make sure that you never burn bridges, you never lose the opportunity to get referrals. So that's absolutely important and critical in developing a referral-based practice, is to recognize that referral marketing is relationship marketing. And it can't be fake. It has to be genuine. You cannot fake a relationship with somebody else and expect good cases to flow through that. If you are developing a relationship with a referral partner, it has to be based on something real, Next, it's important to say thank you for referrals. When somebody sends you a referral, when somebody sends you a potential client, follow up with that person and tell them thank you. Send a handwritten note. Send a gift. Give them a call. Invite them to lunch as a thank you. There are so many times in the past where I have not executed on this opportunity. Somebody sends me a case, client maybe signs up, maybe doesn't, but regardless, I just ignore the referring party. I don't acknowledge that they sent me a person. When somebody refers you a case, they are giving you hundreds of dollars. They're literally taking hundreds of dollars and putting it in your hand. Don't be a brat. Don't be a brat like I have been in the past. Say thank you for that. That's important. It's important to tell the person directly that you appreciate the fact that they trust you enough to take care of this potential client. If you want to encourage that person to continue to send you referrals, acknowledge that what they have done for you is impacting your life in a positive way. Send them a gift as a token of gratitude for the fact that they have just given you money. They've literally just given you money. You got to tell them thank you for that. You got to tell them thank you. So make sure that you do that quickly after the case is referred. Don't wait for the client to sign up. It doesn't matter if the client signs up. If the potential client isn't a good fit, if you can't help them, whatever it might be, call the person and tell them thank you. Hey, John, I really appreciate the fact that you sent me that speeding ticket. I actually don't handle cases in that county. I do handle cases in XYZ counties. Really, really appreciate the fact that you sent me that case. I sent them to Frank because he does handle that specific county that the potential client was charged in, and he's going to take great care of them. So really appreciate you thinking about me. Make sure that you say thank you. To generate referrals, part of the value that you can give is to send referrals. Don't waste the opportunity to refer a case ever. Doesn't matter what the charge is. Doesn't even matter if the person doesn't have a legal issue. If there's some other place that you can refer them, when we have had clients that have called with all kinds of questions about different things. Hey, I think I got a call from somebody that says that they're a probation officer. I'm not on probation. What do you think I should do about this? They're telling me I need to pay like $500 or else my probation is going to be revoked. Clearly a scam call that they're getting. But I tell them, hey, you should call the police department, the sheriff's office, and report this. Tell them the nature and circumstances of the scam call that you received so that this can be on their boat and they can give you further direction. Referring them out. We had a client once that called trying to figure out how they were supposed to order a plane ticket. Now, we are not a flight agency at the law office. That's something that we can't help people with. We do have an attorney in the Durham office, Nav Sandhu, who is trying to get his pilot's license. So maybe when he gets his pilot's license, then I can help these people with their flight needs. We'll see. Probably not still. But regardless, we had a client that called about this, and instead of just being like, hey, we're really not an airport, we're not an airline, we're just not the right person, we gave them the contact information, put them through to a couple of potential travel agencies. This was a client that had a language barrier, so I'm assuming that they were just calling, trying to figure out who can I trust to make a recommendation. Instead of just saying, hey, we don't do that, we sent them to the right place. Now, I don't expect to have American Airlines ever refer me a DWI case back because we may have sent somebody their direction. But with plenty of referrals, you will be able to build a positive reputation if you can send good business to them. Don't waste the opportunity to refer a client to another attorney, to an insurance agency, to an alcohol assessing agency, to an ignition interlock provider, to a continuous alcohol monitoring agency. Make sure that they tell that agency, Minnick Law, James Minnick, he sent me your way, right? Make sure that they indicate that, but point them in the right direction. Point them in the right direction so that they get the help that they need in terms of finding the appropriate person to help them with their legal or non-legal issue. Don't waste the opportunity to refer. Along that same vein, another point, don't refer garbage. Don't refer garbage. So on the flip side of don't waste the opportunity to refer, don't refer a garbage case to another person. Don't refer a garbage case to me. Don't refer a garbage case to somebody else. When you have a client that can't be helped or doesn't seem like is going to be a good fit, and you're just trying to kind of offload this case onto another firm, don't do that. Don't if the person's like, yeah, I've had 7 prior attorneys and all of my attorneys are idiots and they don't know what they're doing, I'm trying to call you, there's probably an issue at that point, right? There's probably something, the first 3 attorneys, okay, maybe you just didn't hit it off right. But once you get to number 7, I think we can all agree that that's not just the attorney's fault at that point. Don't be the person that sends a garbage case to another person. If you are referring cases out, refer them to the people that you believe can help them. And if you're not sure, then call that attorney. Hey, Curtis, don't know if you handle DMV hearings in Polk County, but just send a client your way. Let me know if that's not something that you need in the future. Can't help with in the future, right? The client isn't going to be served well if you say, hey, here's the guy to call, and then they call that person and they're like, yeah, I can't help you with that. That makes you look stupid. If you are referring clients to another attorney or to an agency, and ultimately they say, yeah, I can't help you with that, likely that means that you didn't ask enough questions during your consultation, during your interview, to make sure that you are referring them to the right person. And that's going to come back on you. The client's going to be like, this guy doesn't even know who to call. This is an attorney. He doesn't even know who to call. So why did I just waste my time? So don't refer garbage cases. Finally, when it comes to referrals, in order to get referrals, in order to build trust, be the go-to firm in your area. Be the go-to firm in a locational area, in a practice area. Be the firm that people automatically think of when they think, oh, DWI attorney in Henderson County. Okay, I know who to send that to. I know who the guy is down there. Become that person. Because if you can become that person, then even people you're not seeking referrals from are going to send cases your way. There are so many times when we have attorneys from other states sending us cases, sending me cases. Personally, this has happened many times in my practice where an attorney from Michigan, New York, Florida sends a client that has contacted them my way because this person received a DWI when they came to Asheville. They now go back to their home state. They have an attorney there that maybe handles DWI and criminal cases, maybe doesn't, but somebody that they trust, and they say, who should I call? They Google search me. They look on the National College of DUI Defense. They look on some other legal directory. They find my name, and that person says, here's the guy to call in that area. I've never met this attorney before. I still send a thank you. I still follow up with them and say, hey, if this coincidentally ever happens again, I would be happy to take care of your client. But probably this is going to be a one-time deal. They have found me through that ease of use. If you can become the go-to person in your practice area, in your location area, then people are going to find you. And now you have that trustworthiness built in. I'm going to give you two examples of a client and tell you why one of them is more valuable. So example number one, client gets charged in Asheville with DWI, goes back home to Florida, searches on Google, Asheville DUI attorneys. We come up in the listings. They call me. That's situation number one. Situation number two, client gets charged in Asheville with the DWI. They go back home to Florida. They have an attorney that did a real estate closing for them 2 years ago. They contact that guy. They're like, hey, I got charged with a DWI in Asheville. Who should I call about that? Attorney sits down, types in DWI lawyer Asheville. They find me as one of the listings. They say, here's the guy to call. That second client is much more likely to hire me. Is going to be much more likely to hire you than the first client that Google searched me on their own. That's the power of trust. That's the power of relationship. Once somebody has recommended your service, somebody that's in a position of authority or has a good relationship with the potential client recommends your service, that potential client is already pre-wired to hiring you. So that's the power of a referral. Again, just to reiterate, this is not a new point, but just to maybe close with this. You can't fake this relationship. I have in the past just kind of gone around to local attorneys or alcohol assessors, whatever it might be, and just kind of introduced myself. Maybe brought a bag of box of donuts or some sort of food item with me to kind of say, hey, just wanted to let you know what we do, but then never followed up on those attorneys, never followed up with those alcohol assessors, basically just let the relationship drop after that. You cannot expect a referral based on a one-time meet and greet, even if it went on for 30 minutes, even if it was a good meet and greet. You're better off than not having done the meet and greet in the first place, but in the grand scheme of things, that's a waste of time. The best referrals come from people that you know really well, that really want to send you business. Maybe we get a referral from an attorney that is out of state that I've never met before, that just Google searches us and says, this looks like a good person to call in the Asheville area. But much better than that is to have a person that knows you really well and says, oh yeah, Joe, you want to call Joe? He's amazing. He's going to handle your case start to finish, top level communicator. He's going to treat you like royalty. You can't go wrong. You want somebody that knows you in that intimate way. And so the best referrals are going to come from somebody that you don't have just a professional relationship with, or even worse than that, maybe kind of a one-time meet and greet with, but somebody that you would want to hang out with, somebody that is a friend. That's where the best relationships are going to come from. I'm sorry, the best referrals are going to come from is from those very closely formed relationships. because they are going to sing your praises in a way that somebody that doesn't know you as well is not going to be able to do. They're going to be able to speak to your character, your process, how you handle cases, why they are recommending you. They're going to be able to give credence to that and give a much stronger basis for that potential client to give you a call. So get out there, build relationships, make yourself the go-to firm in a particular location and practice area, and I look forward to speaking with you next time. Hope you enjoyed today's episode of the podcast. If you did, please share the podcast with another freedom fighter in the criminal defense community, and be sure to leave us a rating on iTunes. See you next time.